And Commitment 2020, a 25-year-old candidate for the North Carolina House could become our state's youngest lawmaker if elected. Guilford County Democrat Brandon Gray is taking on Republican incumbent John Faircloth in the upcoming election. Bill O'Neill has the story.
Brandon Gray describes himself as unbought, unbossed, and openly gay. If elected, he would become only the second openly gay member of the North Carolina legislature.
When I read your webpage, the first thing you put out there is the fact that you're running as an openly gay man. And I'm wondering why you have announced that. Why do you think it's important to make that part of your campaign?
I just think it's important to be authentic to voters. The voters like authenticity, and they're not really seeing that in their government. It's not transparent, and I want to be as transparent as possible.
Gray says he came out as gay 5 years ago when he decided to get into politics. No longer content to work behind the scenes, he decided to become a candidate.
Well, a bunch of people in the community asked me to run. I had just graduated college and studied political science, and I was either going to go back to school and maybe go to law school or either run for the seat, and no one was going to run for the seat, so I decided to run for it because I don't think we should be just handing people the seat. I think they should have to work for it.
Gray faces John Faircloth, a former High Point police chief who has held this seat for the past decade. One of the many issues that divide the two candidates is Medicaid expansion. It's Gray's top issue.
Over the last 12 months, no matter if they were Democrat, Republican, or Independent, they all told me that healthcare was their number one priority, and this is something that we should be passing, and it's a no-brainer.
If everyone wanted Medicaid expansion, don't you think it would have happened?
I think if you look at who donates to the campaigns, that's a huge reason. We look at the insurance companies who funnel in hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Republicans' campaigns. That's a huge reason why Medicaid expansion hasn't passed here in North Carolina. We're one of the last states that still hasn't passed it.
The Democrat from Oak Ridge credits Medicaid for helping his own family when he and his sister needed health care and couldn't afford it.
I was raised by my grandmother and my mother. They were two strong women who worked multiple jobs to give me and my sister everything we had. We didn't have everything, but we never went without. But we couldn't afford healthcare, and Medicaid was there for us.
Gray notes on his website that he supports legalizing marijuana, universal background checks for gun owners, and says what's happening in the General Assembly right now isn't working.
What in your mind isn't working in Raleigh?
I just think that we have to get the money out of politics, because right now everything is ran by money, and we should have leaders who are working for their constituents and stop working for the special interest groups. My opponent in particular, he is one of them.
You believe that money is swaying the vote of your opponent?
Money is swaying the vote of almost everyone in the General Assembly.
Okay.
A check of campaign financing record shows that Faircloth has raised less than $12,000 for this race.
At age 25, you would be, if elected, the youngest member of the General Assembly. And I'm wondering if you think that's significant. Is it important?
Yeah, I think it's very important, because young folks, they feel like they're not represented in politics. When we were allowed to have campaign events afterwards, young folks would come up to me and they're like, we've never seen someone that looks like us running for office, and we finally feel seen and we feel represented.
Brandon Gray says one of the reasons he's running for the seat is that John Faircloth never responded to his phone calls or emails regarding issues important to him, such as Medicaid expansion. Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.